Hello, and welcome to the Armin Show podcast. This one is live, exciting, science, people, creativity. We like learning more. We have a guest on today's episode. Let me give you some of the backstory. We are at LA Swim Week 2022. What an event. Very cool. We'll get into that. Before I get into that, my guest today, Robby Devine. Robby, welcome to the Armin Show in the building. That's what I'm talking about. Robby, I've been wanting to have you on for a while. This is a great thing.
It's been a bit. Yeah.
It's been a little bit. Now, Robby, how would you describe what you do, how you do what you do? You bring a style to what you do. What is it?
In general, in life, or specifically associated with this event?
We're gonna go with the event and then life.
All right.
Back out.
So, this platform is called Art Hearts Fashion. It's the largest platform for Fashion Week in Los Angeles. We also do New York and Miami as well. Right now, this is the inaugural Swim Week edition for LA. The first swim week from any platform. And I think it went very well. I work with them. I'm the art director. So I curate all of the art for the show and also help with some of the designers and different aspects of the show for entertainment-wise. We have about $500,000 worth of art in this building. Famous artists. We work with emerging artists, established, as well as upcoming artists. And, you know, this show we had Slash from Guns N' Roses showed his art. Rob Trujillo's wife, Chloe Trujillo. So Rob is a guitarist from Metallica. We had Angelo Moore, the frontman of Fishbone show. A lot of artists and designers here are all multi-talented, multifaceted artists. So they all sort of blend into each other. Art, music, fashion, film. It's about a lifestyle. What's the lifestyle of an artist? What's the lifestyle of someone that enjoys life, like a bon vivant, someone that just wants to experience the most of life and the beautiful world has to offer. So that's what we try to do, and it's all about family and community and helping each other grow and uplifting and showcasing new emerging talents and honoring the ones that came before.
It's a great message, and this is actually what Robby does do. Now, Robby, community is a big thing that I see you foment or build in a way. Have you always done that? Have you always brought people together, connected them? What inspires that?
Yeah, that is something that I care very much about. I felt I had a rough childhood growing up, so I've been in situations where I felt outcast or lonely before, or misunderstood. That's often a plight of many artists. And I'm from a very, very small town.
What town?
Like 1,000 people. And so growing up there in Idaho. And so growing up there, and although I was born in California, but that's a different story. But growing up there, you can feel pretty isolated. And so my whole thing is I don't want anyone to ever feel that way or feel alone. People should feel special and feel that they're unique and they each have a gift. And you're here for a reason, and everybody has a special purpose and something that they have to offer. There's only one of you, only one unique viewpoint that's in this time, in this place, in this moment for a reason. So that's what I feel is like my dream is to achieve my dreams and help others achieve theirs. That's what I want to do with life, is touch as many lives as possible and give people a sense of passion and purpose that they belong and we're all family and we're all in this together, because life is tough enough as it is. Let's come together with love and unity and mutual respect and understandings, and that's why I embrace each other and there's abundance in this world. There's enough for everyone to go around. So that's what it's about, is getting out of the mindset of lack mentality and fear mentality and moving into growth, faith, abundance, because there is. And when you're in that and you're in gratefulness and gratitude, you just want to give it back out because you're so grateful that you're receiving it. And so it takes a lot, and don't give up, because life can be hard, but if you just keep pushing on through it and you keep going, your willpower and your determination, it's like destiny. It will honor that. You take one step towards your purpose, and it'll take 10 steps towards you. So that's what I feel. That's what I try to do with life. I know that was a little bit rambling, but
no, you brought up a lot of valuable points. Abundance is key. When you envision something, then it can be. If you never envision it or look larger, it can't be. It's limited in that aspect.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to cap life for no reason. Frankly, I'm seeing the individual I talked about that with earlier today, Sydney, and abundance is very key.
Yeah. We talk about that a lot. He's a great guy, great artist. I'm big on talking, manifesting and also kindred spirits, universal stars recognize universal stars. So when you have that passion inside you and that fire, then, the same spirit recognizes that in everyone. And so, and it can be anyone. Like, I love talking with people that are, in the homeless community, as well as, you can talk with CEOs of companies, and we're all the same. It's all the same. So that's, what I want to bring, that aspect of togetherness.
I could feel it. The nice feature is that everything you're saying, you do it. It's very obvious. You do it more than you say it, but it's nice that you get an opportunity to say it, frankly, in this moment.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Right? What is something from the past few years that has surprised you, that has come out from having this mindset? Has there been anything that has shown up in your life where you think, dang, this would have come from thinking this way?
Yeah, every day is that way. I mean, of course, you go through your tough days, but even on the worst day, okay, I'm alive, I'm here, I'm breathing. If I don't have a car, I have feet, I can walk, you know what I mean? And even if you can't do that, like, just you can open your eyes, it's another chance. And I had a very, very rough childhood. I'll just put it that way. But so, I'd gone to some points in life where I was feeling very, hopeless and helpless in those situations. And so I feel like being an artist, you feel full spectrum of emotions. You can experience the lowest lows and the highest highs of life. It allows you to think outside the box and be in that moment and be in the creative mindset. So you truly encompass like the fullness of life. A lot of writers are that way. They get in depth to the pain and suffering in the world, because there's a lot of that too. So so going through that, it's like the transformation period of like being the phoenix emerging from the ashes. It feels like it took a while, but it's just coming to fruition, and I see it every day more and more, appearing, and the right doors are opening, and people are coming into my life, and amazing people, and I'm so happy to be surrounded with so many artists and so many amazing creative talents and entrepreneurs and just people that are truly trying to live their dreams and their purpose, and I just love that. I love resonating with that. I can talk to person on a bus stop about that forever, and like really have passionate that connection with them and learn about their life and what is their desire. Okay, they may just right now work at a grocery store or do this, but what are you, like, what is like some forgotten passion that you may have had that you put off to the side or something. And I love having conversations like that with people.
A question that comes to mind is, could you only do these things as compassionately as you do because you had such challenge early on? Does it give you a superpower that someone who didn't have such challenge might not be able to reach for as easily? I have had this thought in my mind previously.
I mean, perhaps because it's strengthening. It's like going through the battles and the conditioning, you know, like training, like a samurai or something. So you go through these steps, and if it's like free climbing and rock climbing, I like doing that a lot. And so when you're hiking and climbing, you have to learn to trust the rocks, and you trust the mountain that you're climbing, and so you can feel, okay, there's a loose stone, there's not this and that, and you're able to pull yourself up. Once you get on top of that, you're able to see back down, and then so that's where you can give back. So that's like you've battled so other people don't have to battle. You've gone through it, so people can relate to you that are going through it, and you can save them from the whatever that they may be going through, you know, that you've already been through. So that was for a reason. It's the purpose comes out of it. There's, you know, the I always say that your like stumbling block can become your stepping stone, you know. So your purpose is lying in that process. Your purpose is in the process. So once you go through that transformation period, you're like, oh, I'm looking back down the canyon, and it's like I took the long way, I took the hard way down the canyon path, and really I could have just shortcutted over here and stepped 2 steps and be on the top of the mountain. So that's where I feel like it's community if you're able to. Why? Some people have the opportunity to just, they could change people's lives like that. They could just do it, you know, and they hold back on it because it's like some power trip, or it's like some sort of, you know, thing they like to micromanage, or they, you know, I don't know, ego getting in the way. So relinquish the ego, because we're all one, we're all connected. So if you win, I win. If I win, you win, you know, and that's what it's about. So relinquishing the ego, and if you have the ability, if you are given the opportunity, or you can do something, then do it. That's what I feel is the whole purpose in life, is to, you know, I want to help as many people as possible. I love just like, if I run into someone, say I'm talking to Armin here, and I see people that, you know, want to that could benefit from talking with Armin, and Armin would like to connect with them, I'm just, hey, meet Armin, meet these, you know, and that is how we should do. But some people will be like, oh no, what if I introduce them to Armin, and then they hit it off, and then they get rich without me, or whatever, and I'm left in the dust, and then they just they think in these suspicious, weird ways, and it never, you know, there's so much, we could be so further advanced as society in general if people would get rid of that and just be open, and so.
That's such a limiting thing. It limits everything when you do that, and it kills anything before it could even start. For nothing. And then 5 years later, what did you do except cut away what could have been?
Yeah.
One thing that you reminded me of earlier is I had this analogy, like, let's say your adversity built you have a turtle shell, and some other turtle out there doesn't have a shell, and now there's a hailstorm outside. Who should we send to the hailstorm? The person that is most prepared for that. If you have a shell, you can protect against you. It doesn't mean that the other person can't do anything, but in this moment or that opportunity, your training, your early training built you for that moment. Boom, hail hits you, no big deal. If hail hit them, big deal. So then you took the hits earlier, now you're doing something like the stepping stone that you said earlier. You can do more, which you're doing on a regular basis.
Oh, I appreciate that. I mean, it feels good. It still feels good when people say that. I don't try to do that though. Like, you know, Armin can tell you. Trust me on this. No, but
I'll tell you.
You know, I mean, I usually hang out in the background, or sometimes, you know, I'm not flaunting like, oh, look what I do. You know, I don't really like that, because that'll just come. You know, I think it's not about that. It's just about, I love seeing people enjoying life and really living life. You know, that's what it's all about, and everything else that falls into place after that is just extra. That's like icing on the cake. That's the blessings. And, you know, I'm still in process of becoming myself. You know, I have I'm a person of great vision, so I look at life as like a cosmic chess match. And so, right, you know, I'm at this space, I need 10 moves in advance, and I see it, I'm beginning to see it more and more, just the more steadily that I just keep speaking it and keep doing it, and keep, you know, I'm a songwriter, so all my music's about that. It's like, and sometimes it's like, am I just saying the same thing in every song, you know? But really, that's what's in my heart. It's like, you know, believe in love, believe in truth, believe in peace, you know, follow your heart. You can do anything. You can accomplish anything that you can imagine is achievable, and let yourself fall in love and let yourself experience life and just go out there and chase the dreams and go wild. And that's, I mean, I just love that. Like, that's the purpose. That's why we're here. We are here to really, truly just like embrace it. And I know it's been tough. It's been really tough lately. Like, right? You know, it's a crazy, weird time. But, you know, in all the greatest times in life, time's cyclical. So, you know, after the Great Depression was like the most wealthy time in existence in this country, in the U.S. And so, you know, it's fashion goes in cycles. Here we are at a fashion show. Every, 20 years or so, things come back around. And this, with the pandemic, with the recession, with all these different things, we're in the dawn of a new renaissance that's going to come. And this is going to be the flourishing of just culture and art. And we're going to see music and literature and just amazing things and advances in technology with all the things coming with the metaverse and the NFTs and everything else. We're beginning to enter into just a totally different era of existence. And so I think that a lot of these things and the problems are going to go away because there's two mindsets. It's like your consciousness and collective consciousness. So the more of us that get together and don't doom and gloom, and we think, okay, no, I'm not going to say, like Mother Teresa said that she'd never be part of a anti-war protest, but if you had a pro-peace rally, she'd be there. Well, so it's all about the wording. It's all about the intention. It's the same thing. One was anti and one's pro. So, but they're saying the same thing. So I just want to think positively. We all think positively. We all think peace. We all think love. And we're going to just put that vibration out into the intentional, and then we're going to act it. We're going to embrace it and really act it. We're not just going to say it. We're not just going to say thoughts and prayers. We're going to act out those thoughts and prayers because, we have hands, we have feet. We are the ones that are capable of physically doing something, not just being like, oh, I feel bad for that person and, I hope something good happens for them. Then do the good thing and help that happen for them and watch what happens to you, because it's going to come right back. It's going to come right back like 10 times 10. It's going to just keep coming in. And the more you give it out, the more it's going to keep coming. If you hold on to something, if your hands are closed and you're grasping onto something, then you're closed off to the world. The second you let it go, your hands are open. You can receive new blessings. So that's what it is. Letting go, being free, and helping everyone. And that's my philosophy. I know that's sort of... I'm Robby Devine, and I approve this message.
I also approve this message, by the way. It's a message there's such a fullness to it. I am fully with it. It's like we share the same base, but I'm much more hard-hitting, and you're much smoother with it, which is a wonderful thing, because smoother resonates better with the collective, and there's compassion in there. Your sense of humanity is very palpable at all times. There's no disconnect there.
Thank you.
There's no extra thought. The extra thought is the thing that kills things. You and the other person, or you and the concepts you're bringing up, there's no like step in between, like a strategy to it, or some sort of like, I shouldn't, but okay, well, there's like that, this little thing that people go through. It doesn't seem like that's there, so it's just, this will be good. It is good.
I've always been that way. I don't know why, but I just always have. Like, my mom used to get freaked out because I would pick up hitchhikers, like, and give them rides. Like, when I first got my license when I was a teenager, and she'd be like, call me, like, because I was late to something. She'd be like, where are you at? And I'm like, oh, I'm driving this hitchhiker to this town that's like 2 hours away. And I know that sounds weird, but that's just like sort of how I am and how I feel. But I'm not a saint. I've been through a lot in life, and so and I used to suffer from all this self-doubt and self, your own worst critic, and so it took a lot to overcome that, and also, because of my childhood and stuff that I said, sometimes, so you have to learn to not listen to any voice but what's inside you, because I've always known what I wanted to do. I've always been creative. I've always known who I am, and then I listened to everybody else that was surrounding me in an environment that wasn't a correct environment for me. Sometimes if a plant is planted in like non-fertile ground, it may be able to seed and grow a little, but then it's going to wither and die. It has to be transplanted. You have to take it. Or if you put say a maple tree or some sort of tree in a small pot and try to let it grow, it's not going to grow into a full tree. You have to take that seed that once it starts sprouting and move it into the proper thing. So sometimes it's that. So don't listen to any of those environments. Don't listen to the naysayers. Don't listen to, only surround yourself with people that want as much for you as you want for them, and that believe in you. And that's the way. And if people don't do that, just, you can love them from afar, but don't have them around you. Don't have that feeding into you. So just, okay, that's what you think. Watch this, that's what it is. It's like, okay, you say I'm this. Well, this is what I really am. So that's the way to do it. Don't buy in. Don't listen to anything that anybody has to tell you. Even me. Yeah, just take what fits and leave the rest. So if it resonates with you, that's what you should do.
I once thought of a nickname online that I could be called Unboxable, and this is related to what you're saying, the idea of someone with their words. The idea is, the hope is it'll box you into a little thing, and that's as far as Robby can go with the context with that person, which means that you only have two options there. You either stay in this random box with that person, and they're okay with you, or you jump out of it and now they're disappointed, they're challenged, they can't deal with it, and they're like, oh, I don't like what you've become, Robby. Well, why? Why couldn't Robby go become that? Yeah. Because you made the box, not Robby had more to do. You made this sort of limitation that makes you comfortable because you don't want to reach further. Why are you putting that on him? That doesn't seem nice. That's like there's a little animal walking and you put a big rock on top of it. And you're like, hey, if you can't run with that, then it's your difficult. You put the rock there. Take it off. Or let it be. It's not cool.
Yeah.
Dang. These are things we have to deal with as people, and the people who notice them most are the ones that, there's somebody who was not as limited, let's say, as you early on or myself, and they wouldn't have these thoughts. They would have been fine with however these kinds of things occurred. They didn't have more they were wanting to reach for, let's say, maybe, and they were okay with it. Yeah. You, on the other hand, myself, maybe we didn't like things that were placed on us or descriptions, and so we broke out. And then once you break out, not only did you break out, but you also are built of titanium now. So it's a double advantage at that point.
It's true. Sometimes that's why, but I believe it's just two paths. I forget there was a philosopher that said, be kind because everyone you meet is fighting a battle. And so everybody's going through things. I try not to, that's why I said, I used to be in the mindset of oh, those rich people, I'll get them, it's I never said that, but that mentality of oh man, why do I have this? I'm from the salt of the earth. My family is very, very, very poor and very meager and stuff, and that's we were just, grew up embracing that and working and really, really hard. And the thing is I used to be bitter about that and be like, oh, if I did this, then I'd be able to achieve this, or if I had this, maybe I would have achieved that. And the thing is that's an illusion. That's all an illusion. And it's, some people, it's not their fault. They're born into whatever they're born into and stuff. And they could be great, amazing people. There's good and bad people of all walks of life. And everybody goes through different things, and everybody makes mistakes and choices, and change. They can change their mindsets. I don't believe in oh, you're too old to learn new tricks or anything like that. If someone could be 80 years old and have lived their life all one way, and then have a deep conversation with someone, and their mind can activate, or it could make them remember some situation in life, and you know, all of a sudden they get it, you know, and it may be at the last act of their life or last, you know, page, but you know, if I believe in that, I believe in the hope and believe that, you know, we shouldn't judge everybody. So that's it. There's good and bad people all over. And what is a bad person? There's life is tough. Life is tough sometimes. So let's all like try to make it better and make it as best as we can.
True. Have you always connected with different ages of people, from the young to the mid-range to the old? Should we
Yes.
go dancing in this?
Yes, I always have, actually.
Get in
because
here for a second.
because
Guys, get in here. I wanna include these guys
come on
here.
in. These are
How
my
cool is
friends.
the energy here? I don't know if you can see this on camera, but I want to bring in the spirit here. we got our guest over here.
Hello, it's Sydney Marcus.
Sydney Marcus and
Amanda Clair.
Amanda Clair.
I'm glad to have you guys joining us for a moment. This is cool. Robby, we're talking about connection with all the people, able to reach out to others and link with them in some form and supportively. What are your guys' thoughts on connecting with others compassionately and understanding their own battle or struggle?
Well, first and foremost, connecting with others is the source. Connection. The connect. I think that's the main goal that we should all be focused on, like connecting. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like kinetic energy. You know, we are energy, so we should be connecting on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying, with people. So connecting with people, understanding their journey. Like me meeting Amanda, like we connected like off the bat because we were also talking about energy, and it's like that's how I met Robby. So it's like when I meet people like that, I know it's like long-term relationship. You know what I mean? Like when I meet people like that, I know it's real. Me and Amanda, we just sit and just talk about random shit. You know what I mean? So because it's real. It's not like scripted. It's not like, you know, it's authentic. When it's authentic, there's nothing that can beat that, man. So connecting at the core, source energy. We are source energy. So we connect. When you're source energy and you realize your source, like you're connected to source, you can connect with anybody. So,
But everybody has that ability.
Amanda, what do you value about connection?
I would definitely say about connection for me is I try to go through life with a certain amount of class and grace, right? And the cardinal rule for me is always to treat others how you want to be treated. And I've always had people tell me like, why are you so nice? Like, why are you so? I'm like,
why are you so nice, Amanda?
right.
right.
Why are you like this? I'm like, in my personal life, you talk about people's struggle. Like, I've experienced a lot of hurt and a lot of pain in my life. And I would never want to put that kind of hurt and pain on anybody. I want everybody to be able to grow and to succeed and to be their most authentic selves, you know, but project happiness, you know. Our world these days it's very dark, it's very gloomy, and if I can be one of those people that brings light into someone's life, like, I'm winning, you know. And I feel like if you're one of those people, then the universe looks back upon you with kindness and with grace, and you know, and you'll be rewarded for that in the long term, for sure.
That's a great message right there.
and you're rewarded now.
Yeah.
Give me some.
Boom.
Here we are.
That's good stuff right there. Boom. So, boom. This has just turned into a four people what out of nowhere. So that's not bad. Connection is there, is key. I was going to talk about also songwriting here. Do we continue with 4? Do we continue with the original 2? Challenge question of the moment. But as the host, I would say I always prefer 4, but then we had to talk about songwriting.
You said old, young, agelessness.
Oh, that would be good.
Because we're ageless.
Right.
We're infinite beings. And the thing is you want to be universal and you want to be like everybody's experiencing life. Like some of my favorite people are like, you know, people that are in their 80s, you know, 90s and stuff. They have so much. It's like as having a time machine to be able to go and like hear their perspective on life and learn from them and grow from them. But then also, you know, you can hang out with kids and they're already, you're born knowing everything, you know, and then the rest of it is thrown on you. And it's all about unlearning and going back and being that kid. Don't losing that, because that's the core of being, you know, authentic and true and everything that we're talking about is when you're childlike in nature, that's when you can truly, like, kids don't have any, prejudgments or anything. It's just like running up to random strangers, like, hi,
Right.
yeah, let's go play in the park, or you want to be my friend, this and that. Like, you're just like meeting new people, like at a summer camp or something, and you're like, oh, we're best friends now. We've been best friends forever. Like, don't you know? Like, it's like within 2 seconds of meeting, and it should always be that way. We forget that, and we get our guards up, and we get hurt, and we get damaged, and we get all these things, and then it's like all this piled on us. You need to do this. You need to be this. You need to do that. Think like this way. Talk like this way. Do this. Do that. Be this. And it's like, then it's like finally you just get to the point. It's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna be who I always was and who I am. Right. And what are you gonna do about it? Like, life's too short. It's like, oh, you don't like it? Bye. You know what I mean? Like, so what? So
But
that's
actually, life is not too short.
that's what I'm saying. It's just right. Actually,
Right.
it never ends.
Yeah, it never ends.
Yeah.
It's infinite.
But life's precious is what I meant to say.
that's
So life's precious. It's like, I don't want to waste my time or my energy on someone that is limited like that. You know what I mean? And if I will open the doors for anybody. I will open the doors for, or quote unquote, my enemies or anything. Which I don't have any, but I will open the doors for them, and it's up to them to walk through. You can't drag someone through it. So it's like, but it's free for anyone that wants to come, anyone that wants to be part and be in this energy and be in this, like, this river of river of flow.
We all operate on. Where are you going? A minute. Hello. Testing. I would say we all operate on vibrations. We all operate on frequencies, and you go through evolutions in your life, and you realize at a certain evolution, right? I told my friend Suhei, I was like, I feel this evolution coming. I feel like I'm a Pokemon, and I'm like ready to, I'm ready to evolve, and I'm ready to evolve. I'm ready to become Blastoise. Like, I'm on my way. And she told me, she was like, that's your Saturn's return. Between like the age of 27 and 29, you experience your Saturn's return, and it's like you're evolving. And I realized that in order for me to get to the frequency that I want to be at, I can no longer bring people with me that don't operate on my frequency. You have those people, you're like, why are you doing that sus-ass shit? Like, what are you doing? Like, what is going on over there? And you realize that, like, as you evolve and as you go through life, you realize that your frequency, your vibration, we all raise, we're all, going, and then you realize that some people they just can't come with you. They're not meant to. Everybody can't go. Not everybody wants it. Not everybody's made for it. Those, and when I met Robby and I met Sydney at that pool party, they were like, how are you? I was like, I'm highly favored. I'm highly favored, and that's something that when you go through life and you experience that, and I'm like, I'm blessed. I'm highly favored. Like, I have nothing to complain about. Like, we all have our woes and one like that, but compared to most, like, I'm out here. You know what I mean? Right. We're out here, right. And you go through life and you meet certain people like this, and it's all by the grand divine. We were supposed to meet. We didn't meet then. We would have met tomorrow or the next day or something like that.
It's confirmation that you're on the right path. You're being the best version of you, and you're supposed to meet these type of people because that's who you are. You're a reflection of who the people you meet.
Yeah, they say you are who you surround yourself with. I always tell people, I'm like, they're like, oh, like, why can't I get my life together? I'm like, because you're hanging out with lowlifes. That's exactly why. Like, you're just hanging out with people that don't match your frequency or your vibration. And, if we want to talk about manifestation, you cannot manifest a certain life or a certain frequency until you embody that. You have to embody, and then you manifest, right? you can't, if you're, those people who are saying, oh, I can't do it, or I can't do this, and I can't do that. And I'm like, well, you're never going to, I'm not this yet, or I'm like, well, you're never going to be that if you don't start telling people you're that. Like, nobody's going to believe you're this person if you don't believe you're that person first,
Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. That's Henry Ford said that. And it's true, but it's available to everyone. So it's not like we're superhuman, although we are, because we all are. So the thing is like we are spiritual beings having a human experience. So but really, this is just a facade, a shell, and it's like your armor and putting it on. And you can also change yourself. You want to look a certain way. You want to do whatever you want to do it. Like why? Like oh, okay, I spent my whole life dressing like this and wearing, a blue suit every day. And then I get the crazy idea. It's like, I wonder what it's like to wear a pink suit. And everybody's like, no, we only wear blue suits around here. Sorry. So what? Be the one that does it. And then maybe everybody will all start doing it. They're like, wow, pink. Wow. Man, I'm going to rock a yellow suit. And then everybody starts doing their thing. But and that's just an example.
Reiterate on we are what? Living a what?
Oh yeah, we're spiritual beings having a human experience, so this is really, it's all a dream that we're living in, and so why not, we're lucid dreaming, so have intention with it, pray, meditate, and those things will come back to you. You put it out there, which is prayer, and ask what you want. Say what you want, and then meditation is just not talking and listening, and it's in you, and you'll know what to do. You just follow that path. You follow that still voice inside you, and don't listen to anything else outside of it. Don't listen to anything else, because it's already inside you. You know what you should do and how you should do it, where you're supposed to go, and what you're supposed to be. It's your destiny is already planted inside you before you even came here. So that's the key. That's the key.
You was a fucking sperm cell in your daddy's nuts. It was your whole life was already destined. Ain't that crazy? When you was like a fucking thought. You weren't even the sperm, man. It was like a thought process.
But it's also
that's how
it was all destined for good. It was all destined for good. Bad things happen. All this stuff happens, but the intention is good. The intention was good. We can take ourselves off that path. People can come in and things can happen to us that derail us. But if you have that willpower and that perseverance and everything else, people have overcome the most awful circumstances, the Holocaust, genocides, wars, plagues, all these things. They come through it all. People, come through all sorts of trauma and abuse and everything else. And the ones that don't give up are the ones that you read about, you read about, the ones that are be studied in history, and the ones that actually like change the world, or even if it's in their own community, it's a small town or something, like when they go on to the next realm, it's like they may have touched the whole town. They'll have a whole town come out and have a funeral or make a day for them or do something, you know what I mean? And then there's the people that just are here and then they're gone, and it's like, people are like, oh, they passed or they did something. It's like, oh, that's sad, and on to the next thing. But the thing is like, you want to make that impact. You want to make that impact, whether it's in your small community, whether it's in a big city, whether it's worldwide, whatever you can do, whatever your dream is, and you can do it.
Do you know what the greatest ideas are? The greatest ideas are that ever lived, where they are. They're in the cemetery.
The greatest ideas are in the cemetery.
They never did anything with them.
Yeah.
What a guy.
So yeah, so
My dogs are barking over.
right. The greatest ideas that ever lived are in the cemetery, because they never did anything with them. Because they never did anything with them. Like, bro, if you ever just go by, just walk, or just pass by the cemetery, and it's like there's so many people that was here before you that just never lived their life, bro.
They didn't do their thing.
They didn't do their thing. You know what I mean? So it's like it's pressure, but at the same time, it's like you're alive now, so you should be like,
Right.
going wild. Like this man right here, like I be seeing him like he will fucking go like with like I'm talking about. I'll be up like I'll be asleep. You like yeah, bro. Let's wake up. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. I'm talking about like I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. He be like Del Taco. Let's go Del Taco. He like fucking like but also too sponsored by Del Taco. But it's like we be going like we don't stop because we also know that we are spirits living a life experience. We know that, you know what I'm saying? So we know when it's over, it's over. Like I had to bury my uncle a couple days ago, and I had to actually look at him like, damn, bro, like you was just alive a couple days ago, right? So it's like, okay, I see what's going on. Like I need to make sure that I'm being the best version of myself. And I need to make sure every interaction with everybody is good because at the end of the day, when people are looking like when that's all you got, like, and when you only got 5 people coming to your funeral, like what did you do in this life? You know what I'm saying? Like what happened? Like what was like? I mean, but that's something to actually think about, like because we gotta really put out our best selves because in this life is meant for everybody to be their person. That's the only way this life is gonna work because when you start being somebody else, it's like that person's already taken. Why would you be somebody else? So anyway, make a long story short, be the best version of you. Just do it like Nike. And that was like the last.
And that was tonight. Brought to you by Nike Swim. Nike Swim.
I want to give a shout out to all the people joining here. We had Sydney.
Sydney.
Right here.
Robbie.
In the building.
Amanda.
Robby Devine in the building.
Robbie.
In the building. And Eric, Variety Purpose right there.
Thank you. Thanks, Armin.
Glad to have you on.
Let's talk about songwriting next time.
Next time. I was going to include songwriting. On this one, we'll close it there. Armin Show Podcast in the building. 4 guests randomly out of nowhere. And we are out.
I'm dropping a track. Summer Crush. Coming soon.
And we are out.
Yeehaw!